Suppose we wish to estimate the difference between two population proportions. And suppose we have the following information that we've drawn from these populations. Sample 1 comes from population 1, and sample 2 comes from population 2. And we're going to construct a 99% confidence interval using the 2propzint command. Now to access this command, you hit Stat, highlight Tests, and then scroll until you find 2propzint. Now the information required to run this program is as follows. X1 represents the number of successes in sample 1, N1 represents the size of sample 1, X2 represents the number of successes in sample 2, and N2 represents the size of sample 2. And all of these values must be integer values for the program to run correctly. Then you have the confidence level, and then you may calculate. Let's go ahead and enter in our information. We take the sample proportion multiplied by the sample size. This will give the number of successes. And here we see we do not have an integer value, so we'll need to make a slight adjustment to this. So we'll use standard rounding rules. And then we'll enter in the sample size. And then we'll enter in the number of successes for the second sample, which again is the sample proportion times the sample size. Again, we didn't get an integer value when we did this, so we'll need to make an adjustment, and we'll use standard rounding rules to make this adjustment. So this will round up to 306. And then we enter in the sample size for the second sample. And then we enter in the confidence level. And then we execute the program. And the results are as follows. We have the interval being computed here. Now, the calculator assumes that it's P1 minus P2. So the sample proportion from the first sample minus the sample proportion from the second sample will be used as the estimate. And that order does not change. So we need to exercise a little care when you enter in these values. Then we have the sample 1 sample proportion, then the sample 2 sample proportion, and then the size of the samples respectively. And this is how you may conduct a 2propzint command on the TI-8384 calculators.